Good morning, good morning, good morning. You know what today is? Monday Morning Chats with Zach, and Zach is me. I hope that you guys had a great weekend. Honestly, I had an amazing weekend. My birthday was October 17th, but from the day of my birthday up until yesterday, I've been like doing so much. I know one of the things is that one of like my friends were taking me out all last week. So Wednesday I went out. Thursday, I actually got a chance to have in-person Bible study, which was amazing. Friday, I went out twice. Saturday, I went out. Sunday, I went out again. So it was just amazing. I don't know what else is left in store, but I'm all birthdayed out. And so if you guys ever celebrated with me throughout this entire week, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much. I really, really enjoyed myself. So before I begin, I do want to read my affirmation card. I love affirmations. And so this is the card right here. I am still. I am still. I understand that there are times to move and there are times to be still. In my stillness, I seek greater understanding. I take time to rest and contemplate. I strive for unconditional happiness here in the present. I am still. This card is everything. I just pulled this out of the deck right before I hit the button for live. If there's one thing that I can take from this weekend is to do whatever makes you happy. People will always have their opinions about the things that you decide to do, but what the hell with them? Do what makes you happy. Don't live your life for other people. Live your life for yourself. And sometimes you probably will make a dumb decision. I mean, we all fall short of some of the decisions that we make. But if it makes you happy at that time being, do that. As long as it's not jeopardizing like your health, your life. If it makes you happy, do that. People will agree to disagree with the things that you have going on in your life. But if it makes you happy, do that. I received some exciting news from my friends this weekend. And I told them, I was like, hey, I am happy for your happiness. And whatever makes you happy, I'm happy for you. But if I had to title this small Monday morning chats with Zach, I would title this as "Do you know how amazing you are?" So this past week was pretty much interesting to me because as a professor, this is like the first time I ever got a chance to like evaluate a student. For the last 4 years that I've been teaching my community college class, I always got evaluated. You know, things that I can improve on, things that I was great at, and things of that sort. But this was the first time I ever got a chance to evaluate a student, look at their weaknesses, look at their strengths, and rooms for improvement, and just pretty much my observation. Now granted, it's somewhat difficult because we are in a virtual learning environment, so I take heed to that, and I'm always asking my students, like, how are you mentally? How are you today? How are you feeling? Are you anxious? Are you stressed? Are you depressed? Because if I know how they are mentally, it helps me determine how I'm going to teach my class. I may say, hey, class is not going to be 2 hours today. It's going to be an hour. Or the first 30 minutes is let's talk about your feelings. And the same thing when I have my supervision meetings. I'm always concerned about their mental health. And so I had my student come into my office last week. And yes, we were practicing social distancing, if you had to know. And yes, we did wear our masks. We are required to wear the mask inside the law school. And I got a chance to go over in person my actual written evaluation for this student. And in law school, you're taught to just pretty much do extremely well, get great grades, so that way you can go to a big law firm or you can make a lot of money. And it's this idea that you're not going to make a mistake. And if you make a mistake, it's like, oh, wow, like you're going to be a future lawyer. Lawyers don't make mistakes. And that is an assumption that I've received throughout law school. And if you are an attorney watching this, I'm not sure if you had the same feeling, but that was for me, especially in my law school. And so I've noticed that with my student, I'm going to tell you about his evaluation. And hopefully this can encourage you to just never forget how amazing you are. With any evaluation, when you're critiquing someone, I like to do like a sandwich. Things that you did great on, things that need improvement, and go back to things that you did good on. I think that when you tell someone all of the bad things first, or the things that you need to work on first, sometimes they overlook the things that they did well in. And so this student, I told this student that, hey, I think you're great at X, Y, and Z. I think that you are great at learning. You like to learn. You're teachable. I think that's very important in any profession. Always be teachable. That's one thing. Be teachable, because you always want to be a student at your craft. Always be a student. Always be willing to learn. The things that you learned last year for your business may be different for next year, depending on the rules and regulations, depending on what area of profession that you are in. But always be a student. Maybe you had to go to conferences to learn things. Expand your network. Your network is your net worth. And so always be a student. 2, practice makes perfect. You may not get things right the first time. You may not get things right the second time. You may not get things right the third time. But keep going after it. In any profession, that's 2. 3, any profession or wherever you are, you have to have the confidence to know that you can do it. And you will do it. And you're that amazing. I think a lot of times some people don't go after their dream jobs because they lack the confidence. They don't think they're capable of handling such tasks. And that was the main thing that I really touched on in our meeting. I made it clear to my student. I said, I see your ability, but I think sometimes you lack the confidence. Let me tell you why. I'll call on you for an answer. Like me, I am that professor where I will cold call you because I expect you to be prepared. Yeah, you see the nice Sakina and everything, but when it comes to teaching, I get serious and I challenge my students and I tell them, hey, this is not going to be an easy class. I will challenge you. So just because you read the book, for every reading that's assigned, that doesn't mean that you're going to pass my class. Common sense is an important thing, and it's a part of the grade. And so I said, I think you lack confidence in certain areas. I said that, sometime when we're in class, you get called on. You always want to have this idea that you had to get the answer right. And so the only way you will answer if you know 100% sure that you had the answer right. But I said, I don't see you challenging yourself and saying, let me just try to think this through and see if I can get it right. I said, but when you get something wrong in class, I pay attention to all my students' facial expressions during Zoom. And I said, whenever I call on you and you get something wrong, you freeze. You stop. It's like this slight sense of embarrassment maybe that you had something wrong. And even in team meetings, I noticed that whenever you get something wrong and you're not sure, or you may say, hey, I don't know the answer, but you don't try. That's a sign of lack of confidence. Or it could be a sign you just don't know. But however, in life, it's not about getting things right. You go through life, you're going to make mistakes. Mistakes are the other growing pains of life. You're not going to get things right all the time. But you learn from them. And so instead of being so concerned about how many times I got something wrong, just figure out how did I learn, what did I learn from this? And then what you learn from, you'll figure out and think about, well, what made me choose this? Or what made me choose that? And then from your own choices, you can figure, okay, well, this works for me, this doesn't work for me. But I said, you didn't have the confidence. I said, how you had the confidence is to raise your hand and say, okay, this is the answer. And then if you don't have the right answer, you figure out why you got it wrong. And so my question to you is, do you lack the confidence? Do you think that you're not capable of getting the job that you really want? Do you think that you're not smart enough? Do you think that you're not beautiful enough? Do you think that you're not handsome enough? Confidence start within. You gotta wake up knowing that, hey, I am amazing. I feel amazing. I look amazing. No one can tell me differently. I know, like, when I was younger, it was just this idea that, it was cool for girls to have long hair. And some girls that had short hair, or maybe their hair didn't grow, it was like this form of lack of confidence because they didn't feel pretty enough. So if that's you, even as an adult, you feel like, hey, I don't have the looks. Well, what are you doing to make yourself feel good? Are you getting your hair done? I'm all for makeup, so do you have makeup? Do you want to make yourself feel pretty? Just like the TLC song, I'm Pretty. Are you what are the type of clothes that you wear? I know that in law school, we did a lot of etiquette classes because I went to, that was my first time actually going to like a ball. In high school, I went to several formal dances, but when I went to law school, it was more of an upscale. And when I went to etiquette classes, they will always tell us like, how we should dress when we go to galas, and how we should dress for professionals. And the one thing that they would tell us is that don't have clothes that are too baggy. Make sure your clothes are fitted. And if it doesn't fit right, you can get a tailor to alter so that way it fits your body. Everyone's not meant to be small. Everyone's not meant to be big. It's different sizes. You could be small, medium size, big size, muffin top, or whatever. Love the skin that you are in and wear the clothes that fit your body. I find that some people that lack confidence, I look at some of the clothes that they wear. They don't care about what they wear. I think if you cared about what you wear, your whole demeanor can change. And then in addition, for the job that you want, why do you feel like you're not competent enough to get that job? You're smart. You can do it. You're amazing. Don't lack the confidence. If you do, you could start by reading words of affirmations, different words of affirmations every day. Or you could create your own. You could start by saying, hey, today I'm going to have a great day. Today will be amazing because I'm amazing. I am beautiful and wonderfully made. I love the skin that I am. God created me to be this way. And I'm the only person that looks like this. No one can do it like me. God has a lot of amazing things in store for me. And I know that if I trust him, all things will work for the better good of my life. And so you can say something like that every day when you wake up. But you got to believe in yourself that you can do anything that you put your mind to. Yeah, some things may be far of reach, but why not try? So the confidence. And I told my student, I said, hey, you know why I'm telling you this? Because I was just like you. I remember being in law school, being called on, and sometimes I was afraid to talk in class because I had this idea of what if I got something wrong. And my colleagues were around me, and it was just this idea that if I got something wrong, would they think that I'm incompetent? Would they think that I'm stupid because I didn't know this, and maybe this was an easy answer to other people? But for me, it may not have been as easy. I tell my story this all the time. I lacked the confidence once I first got out of law school. I failed the bar 3 times. My confidence was low. 2013, I felt like I hit rock bottom. It was just this idea that I felt like I was a failure. I had my head down instead of having my head up. And I just kept thinking, because I failed the bar, I felt like everyone that walked past me knew that I failed. And that was the things that I was telling myself, like, hey, you're a failure. Hey, you're not smart enough. Hey, you're not going to get this job because you failed the bar. And I remember that I kept telling myself, I'm not going to get the job that I want because of this. I know someone that took the bar for the first time and passed, most likely will get a better job than me. And then once I passed, I said, you know what? Instead of me looking at this as a negative, let me change this into a positive. I'm not a quitter. If I start a task, I'm going to finish it. Some people can't say that. Yeah, I failed the bar 3 times, but that showed you that I'm tenacious. I don't give up. I'm determined. You knock me down, I'm going to get back up. You can't stop me. I'm unstoppable. I'm going to keep doing it until it actually gets done. That's who I am. Can't speak for everybody else. And as it relates to a job, I made that into a selling point. I never forget, one of my old bosses said, I know that you graduated January 2013, but you didn't pass the bar until July 14. Can you tell us the distance, like why it took you so long to take the bar, or did you fail the bar? I said, yes, I did. I failed the bar. I failed it 3 times. He said, okay. I said, but just because I failed the bar, that doesn't mean that I can't be a good associate. Honestly, I could be a better associate than anybody that you have ever hired. But you had to give me a chance. That just shows you I just don't quit. I'm not a quitter. If you give me a case, I'm going to win. I'm going to take my time and get it right. And if I have any questions or comments, I'm going to come to you. But that just shows you who I am as a person. So the things that I was speaking negative of about me failing the bar, I use it as a selling point. I said, yeah, I failed the bar 3 times, but I'm a damn good ass attorney. And anybody that you have after me can't beat me. And so, but you'll only know that if you hire me. And so I'm an asset to your law firm if you hire me. But the times that I took the bar doesn't overshadow the work that I can do for this firm. And I actually got the job over someone that was a Georgetown graduate, passed the bar on the first try, graduated with a 3.7. I didn't have that GPA, but I got his job. But I got the job, and they told me because I was confident. I came in knowing that, hey, I'm going to get this job. I'm going to get it regardless. I don't care who is my competition. There's no competition because when I come in, my goal is to say I am number one. And so be that way. If you want that job, go after it. Go on with the confidence saying there's no one like you. You're the only person made for this job. I don't care if it's 20 people that's interviewing for the position. You got it. You're amazing. The next thing we talked about in our meeting is improvements. Everybody has room for improvements. Everybody has some type of weakness. But the goal is, how do you learn from your weaknesses? Do you have accountability partners that say, hey, I noticed that you somewhat struggle in this area. Let me help you. I have friends like that. And so anytime I pour into others, I have friends that is constantly pouring into me. One of my close cousins, my older cousin, she sends me scriptures every day. Every single day, even on the weekends. And sometimes it's one of those days I'm like, I actually need to listen to this. I actually need to read this. This was something that I need. Because I can encourage myself to read the Bible. I read the Bible all the time. And then I make time to listen to sermons. I go to church every Sunday, but of course, due to the pandemic, my church is actually closed. But I listen to sermons. I don't wait till every Sunday to listen to sermons. I listen to sermons throughout the week from some of my favorite pastors like Michael Todd. He's doing a Forgiveness University series. I think he says like a 10-week series. And if you haven't listened to Michael Todd, he's dope. So definitely listen to him. But yeah, I know what I struggle with. And I'll always ask God, hey, can you help me with this? I know I can't do it by myself, but can you bring some people in my life that can help me with the things that I struggle with? And we talked about that. The struggles, the things for improvement. That's okay if you need things to improve on. Everybody does. No one's not perfect. And then we went back to the strengths, and I said, you're going to be a great attorney because, one, you know your strengths. You acknowledge your strength, but you acknowledge your weaknesses. That's showing a vulnerability side to you. And you're teachable. So my question to you, are you teachable? Do you think that you know everything? Do you want to be the smartest person in the room? I can tell you that if you are the smartest person in the room, you are definitely in the wrong room. But never forget how amazing you are. Do what makes you happy. If you're not at a job that you don't like, leave. Have something set up. Look for other jobs. Go for the job that you really want. I see people that just live in basic ass lives because they never take a chance on doing what they love. And because they live this basic ass life, they wait until they retire and say, wow, I'm so glad to be done. I can tell you this, I love teaching. The only way I'll retire is when I die. Unless I realize, hey, I need to take some rest. But other than that, I'm not teaching just to retire. I'm teaching because I love it. So you have to take that risk. Take that risk. But you're amazing though. Why question yourself? I can tell you that when I went for the position to teach at a law school, I was nervous. I kept saying, I know there's gonna be people that has more teaching experience than me. I know there's gonna be people that had better GPAs than me. But I kept thinking about all the things that will push me away from not applying. But I thought about all the things that I should apply. Hey, I got teaching experience. I just never taught at a law school before. Yeah, I didn't graduate with honors. I was how many points I was away? Like 0.05 away from graduating for honors from law school. I did all the things smart law students did in law school. I'm competent. I know my stuff. I'm teaching the classes I like. Tax. I love tax. I eat, breathe, and sleep that type of stuff. And so When I went into the interview, I told him, I said, hey, I'm great at this. Oh, you went to such and such school. Yeah, I know. But I graduated. I'm licensed. I'm a licensed attorney. I can do this. I can handle this. But I said, what makes me stand out is that I love to teach. I said, it's not about the money for me. It's about waking up doing something that I absolutely love. And so I can tell you that I'm not working, really, because I like what I do. There's a glow about me. There's a feeling that I have in the inside that you would never see. I only feel it because it's me. It's a great feeling. And that's because I'm doing what I love. I don't want to be basic. I don't want to be average. I don't want to be mediocre. I want to be phenomenal. I want to be spectacular. And I work on things every day. And I want you to do the same thing too. Don't just have some basic job because it's giving you a paycheck. Do something that you're able to make an impact on. Do something that you love. And it will thank you later. I hope that this message encouraged you to never forget how amazing you are. Always have the confidence to know that you can and you will be successful. And if it's that job that you really want, go after it. Be still. Because sometimes you may be in a position where it's not the right time to move. You have to really be still next, guys. This is my transition period. I was at a job for almost 3 years that I hate. I did not like. I hated that job. When I would drive to work, as I got closer to my job, I started to get headaches. I got anxiety because I was like, I just can't be here. And as much as I wanted to leave, I had interviews throughout the jobs, throughout my time there. I didn't get placed at those jobs. One job I could have got hired at, but something told me, hey, I'll be going into the same situation, just at a different location. But during the time that I remained still at the job I did not like, God was working on me in the inside. He was teaching me how to deal with difficult people. Because I said, God, you know my heart, but you know my mouth, and you know I'll swing on somebody. But God, I need you to clean what's in here. And if there's something negative that I have against my colleagues at my job that caused me so much pain, like clean this area up. Because, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So I want to be cautious of what I say, even though it's easy to call someone all type of curse words. But I don't want to leave that lasting impression. I don't want to just, burn bridges. I never know. I may have to cross over them one day. So my relationships matter. So I said, God, clean this up. If there's something here that I eventually want to get out and I know it's not the right thing to do, God, clean this up. And so once you clean this up, then I'm able to speak. And it's coming from you. And so the times I want to say, you mother, I'm like, hey, can we talk about this? And I'm like, God, I didn't say that. Like, why are you telling me to do these things? And I realized that he was telling me to be still. He was cleaning this up so that way I knew how to speak to people. And I left gracefully. I hope that this helps you. I hope that you have a great week. I hope that you have a spectacular Monday. I hope that you have a phenomenal Tuesday. I hope that your Wednesday is amazing. I hope that your Thursday is just extraordinary. I hope that your Friday is just excellent. And I just hope that your weekend is lit. Despite everything that's going on in the world, I just hope that you never forget how amazing you are. And it's okay to struggle with things. We are not perfect. You're not perfect at all. It's okay to say, hey, I struggle at this. It's okay to say I need help. But who are the people in your circle that's willing to help you? You got this. You are amazing. You're going to do great things in life. And just be still and listen to God. He will help you. He will help you get that job. But listen to him. You may not be ready to get to the next place that God has for you, but when you do, take it. Don't say, hey, I'm not going to take it because I'm scared. Do it scared. Take care, guys, and happy Monday.